state, but he wasn't Iowa nice. Daddy's strong-willed man with one firm hand, and he never had to tell him twice. He was raised by his God-fearing mama, even though he didn't believe that the good Lord would take his soul to heaven after hearing all of his bad deeds. Though he never talked much about it, he was a veteran of the Vietnam War. His chopper blade and churnin was a gunner out of that side door. Didn't do it for God or country, had no faith in either one. Was an unlucky draw, 'cause he just had nothing going on. I was knocking on Kevin's door, he had to see where he had been. I was knocking on Kevin's door, but he wouldn't let me in. That Dylan song back in '73, I thought it was all about him. I was too young to understand the word, but they said his name again and again. When I was a boy, it took to shooting. I guess they tried to make me a man, but at 12 years old, that 12 gauge Colt got me on my ass. He had a long black beard and he carried a knife. I always wore his leather jacket, like the Budweiser cold, and his bud rolled and a pack a day habit. Was the one who always told me, never judge book by its cover, unless you live the life of the pages inside. Yeah, we just don't know one another. And I was knocking on Kevin's door, yeah, to see where he had been. I was knocking on Kevin's door, but he wouldn't let me in. He lost his first wife to his drinking, lost his second to an aneurysm. His third wife took everything he had left, and she crushed all the will that was in him. After all the years of hard living,